We're here for the pitch of Holly, Beth and Chloe. Tell us your song choice and why you've chosen it.
We've chose to do We Could Be by The Honey. We chose it because it's just we've got quite a good plot for it and we've got quite a few good ideas of what we could do and make it a bit different.
And we really like the band and we feel we could do a lot with it.
Okay. I don't know, I'm not familiar with the band and their music. Is it a female band or a male band?
A male band.
A male band, okay.
And the genre is like indie rock, kind of pop rock.
But we also feel it gives off quite a few messages, so we think we could like work on quite a few different messages.
Okay. Because just one of the things when it comes to, and this comes from me watching your two's 1 minute music video the other day, there is a bit of an issue with kind of doing a male band, because obviously the idea is that we believe, you know, we're meant to believe as the audience that you are the singers. So
we're going to have a male in it and he will be portrayed to be part of a band.
Okay.
So hopefully that will indicate to the audience that that's what we're trying to get at. He's going to be portrayed as part of the band.
I think we're kind of more like the actors within the thing, and then the male singer kind of a singer.
Yeah,
Okay.
that will be made like quite obvious.
So when it comes to things such as your CD album cover and your website, because obviously they've got to look like what part of one package, is this male actor going to be in those as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me your overall effect and plot, because that's the only thing I was thinking is that, again, when I looked at it the other day, I thought this is a really good music video. However, obviously, if we're watching, we're expecting, we've got to believe that you're the artist. And sometimes with some male vocals, if they're quite high or they kind of don't sound, you know, they could sound either male or female. It's not too much of an issue, but otherwise it can be. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about your overall idea. So the overall effects.
The overall idea is we're going to do the man who's part of the band, and he meets his girlfriend like when they're quite young and while he's practicing to be in the band, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we kind of watch them grow up together and like he becomes successful with the band, and then we show them in like different locations together and stuff, and then they get married and he cheats on her.
Yeah. So we're gonna like show shots of him with his wife, and then going behind her back with another person.
Okay.
And that kind of relates to the lyrics as well. If you listen to the song,
Right.
they can.
Is it about somebody cheating on them? Is it?
Yeah.
It could be portrayed as that, couldn't it? When you listen to the lyrics in that way.
Okay.
And then like near the end, we're gonna like show them on a beach, like as the husband and wife's plays. And then we're gonna like merge a shot in of him taking this other girl there.
Okay. Right. So it's a big idea.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you a few questions here which I want you to answer.
Okay.
First of all, how are you going to make it look like? Are you going to show a wedding scene, or are we just going to see that they're married?
I think we're just gonna see that they're married.
How are we going to see that they're married? What sort of things are we?
Show him going down on one knee to her, say
Okay.
like at a nice setting, and then show a ring or something where we're on her finger.
Okay. All right. So cut away to the ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
And show them go from like teenagers, like going out and like visiting different places to like when you get older you tend to like stay in more together, don't you, and just like relax a bit more.
Oh, I know me and my wife do. Yeah.
So just like watching TV and stuff from like going out and
obviously the audience will understand that because we're going to show them in like their own house and stuff. Whereas when he's with the other person, it's going to be in like places like a car or
So
like
sort of places
outside,
where he's kind of
make
hiding
it
or
look-
trying to.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you going to get a beach from? You said something about a beach shot.
we're going to drive to one, weren't
Yeah.
we?
Right. Okay.
And do all the shots of that in one
That's
day.
absolutely fine, but obviously just with things like that, you know, the nearest beach is how far away? An hour and a half?
Isn't it scary? Is there a
Probably
beach for
scary.
scary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
quite
Just
far.
a few things. I've got no, you know, I don't want to sort of at all kind of dampen your ideas or anything like that, because
Yeah.
I think that day, which you know you could have a good laugh doing it. I think would, you know, because you've got there, or you've got Scarborough, it's not too far away and stuff like that. But a few things just to consider. First of all, I will have to get you to do a risk assessment for that. I know you're not stupid enough to kind of
Okay.
go for a swim. Let's get out, get the swim on camera, but just so you know, just so it's in winter as well.
I know, even if that did become a problem, because obviously when we'll be filming it, it will be near winter.
Yeah.
I think we could kind of choose a different location, but that obviously.
I think it'd be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, if you obviously you just have to kind of choose it, and it'll be a weekend or whatever. But you'd have to look at it when it's gonna. It might be one of those days that are kind of bright sunshine but cold, and that's fine as well. You know, romantic stroll on the beach in winter. People do that.
We just wanted to show that it was like their significant place.
Yeah.
Show it like with him and that girl, and then show it with the one he's cheating on. I think that would have like quite a good effect with it.
And there's little things you can do. There's a couple of, you know, if you've got like a establishing shot of a hotel, you don't have to go into it.
Yeah.
You know, you can use stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I like the idea, and I think you know, in terms of sort of using, like you say, significant locations and showing him with her and with someone else. In terms of the person, the male actor you were thinking of, is he going to be available quite a lot to act in this?
Yeah.
It's Beth's boyfriend who's going to be Beth's friend.
It works when in the week, but he's at home on weekends and stuff, so we can.
You've cleared this with him?
Yeah. I spoke to him last night.
It's Sam, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
Do you think we've decided at the end that we were going to have a close-up of the woman, like singing the last lines of it? Do you think that I'd work with regards to the band being male or not?
I think it's absolutely fine. If it suits the narrative, it's absolutely fine.
So she just says it kind of because the last line's quite significant. And
I mean, you can use that. You can use that throughout the thing. You know, you can kind of have certain bits where he might be lip syncing and go and turn towards the camera. You know, where certain bits are, or where the lyrics match what he might be saying to her or to the other woman. Equally, you can have the female doing that. What I'm getting at really with that is just you've got to kind of think of the band overall. Who are the band? How are you going to show that? We've had plenty of videos before where there's been sort of females doing male vocals, and it's fine as long as it's just how we kind of construct the idea of the band. That's all.
Well, we thought because when we did some research, the actual song's about like a band member who left before they became famous.
Right.
So we thought maybe at the start, if we showed them in a band with like obviously other people around and maybe males, then we could kind of interpret that as being the main band in a way.
And then he could be part of it.
Yeah.
You could even, I mean, again, it's probably take up quite a bit of planning, but you could even, if you could get hold of somewhere, recording studio sort of location, or even doesn't have to be. It can be sort of people practicing around. You could even have it so the band has the two girls in.
Yeah.
So the two girls were in the same band, and it kind of
that would be a good idea.
Quite a nice idea to start with as well, and them just kind of laughing and joking while practicing or whatever.
Where would you go to do that?
There is a place called DCAT. I think it's called DCAS or DCAT, one of the two. I'll have to have a look for you. But in previous years, they have let us use them.
Right.
If not, you might have to ask music if you're just using one of the rehearsal rooms. And you know, don't think of it as showing the band performing. More, if anything, it's just kind of you might be strumming guitars and practicing and kind of laughing and joking, and you showing those scenes, and it can just be kind of like, you know, something like that. Okay. So you don't have to kind of get in a whole band performance thing.
No.
I like the idea. Which sort of audience do you think it would appeal to?
We said to more teenagers and younger adults, because we feel like it is relatable to a common drama which could occur within that age group. Because you wouldn't expect like a 60-year-old man to go and cheat on his wife like after they've been together that long.
But go on.
But you'd kind of like relate the storyline to like younger adults with like men who have obviously got fed up with the wife and want to experience more.
Okay. Or people who maybe got married a bit too young.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, what do you want the audience to do? As in, are they going to sympathise with the male? Are they going to sympathise with the females? What are they going to do?
Sympathise with the females.
Yeah.
The one female. But we were going to aim it to both boys and girls because cheating can happen with boys and girls. So we wanted it to be relatable to both, really.
Like at the start, I imagine you'll feel sorry for the husband because we'll show like the wife's like constantly having conflict with him and constantly like being angry at him.
Yeah, and like looking at his phone and stuff.
But and then when you like get deeper into it,
We
you'll
realise
start.
she's got a good reason to be jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And how will it end? What's your idea for the ending? Is it going to be a happy ending or not a happy ending? Does he end up nobody?
No, he ends up with that woman
Yeah.
at the significant place that he went with the other woman.
And that's when the final shot of the woman is her lip syncing.
Saying the last line.
Okay. Now, one thing to think about here is that obviously the purpose of a music video quite often is to sell the artist. Are the audience going to like the artist after seeing him behave like that?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not saying don't do it. If anything, but just be able to explain. Have a think about. Will it actually sort of, because sometimes, audiences like their pop stars to be naughty or rebellious or kind of like a little bit immoral or whatever. Sometimes audiences like it because they think, well, I wouldn't behave like that, but, aren't they bad?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. It's up to you. I'm just getting you to think about that a little bit in terms of, don't have to answer now, don't worry. But something to go away and think about is kind of, well, what do we want our audience to think of this band?
Yeah.
Maybe it's how you portray it. Maybe it looks a little bit like he's been sort of railroaded into getting married early when he didn't really want to. He didn't have the guts to say anything. But equally, the audience isn't going to take too kindly to somebody doing that. But have a think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of how you want it to look, so I'm guessing you're going to film in quite a few different sites.
Yeah.
Give us some examples of some of your locations.
Bedrooms of all the characters.
Yeah. Like the school hall for like the starting bit when obviously as a band when they're younger and everything like that.
I think we're going to use quite a few outside locations that are kind of like peaceful and relaxed areas.
The car. We'll use the car. We're going to show different locations to show it is like progressive through time and stuff.
I suppose we won't use all this variety, but I think we just need to like get together and decide on the actual locations that we think
Yeah. I think probably a task for you guys to do pretty soon is to actually, normally we leave it a little bit later, but I would start storyboarding and storyboard it in detail just because I think this will require quite a bit of planning. Also as well, to make it feel as realistic as possible, I would even film it over quite a long period of time. Rather than kind of think, okay, this day we'll film this, I would film some over the next couple of weeks. Once you've got your idea sorted, then film some more a couple of weeks later, film some over Christmas, because what you tend to get, because we all, well, not so much me, but a lot of you sort of change the way you look a little bit or stuff like that, then things will naturally look like a passage of time.
And I suppose like the different settings, because obviously there's different like weathers and stuff. I think that'd work.
Absolutely,
quite
different
well.
light, different weather, even the clothing. People wear more clothes obviously in winter. Stuff like that. So just think about that and think carefully. I think thinking carefully about your mise en scene so you can kind of create a believable passage of time. Even if you suggest it as it is, because I think realistically you're not going to be able to show that this has been happening for a couple of years. See it as a kind of sort of lightning fast romance that gets married. It all happens over the course of a couple of months. Okay. So and then actually you can film it over a couple of months because you've got until about March or something. So you can kind of film it over a couple of months and get that footage. But it requires you being organised and just get loads. If you get loads of footage, then you'll have lots of stuff to cut away to. But that'll be the kind of key to it. Okay. So good idea. I think you need a bit more understanding of who your audience is in terms of things like use and gratification theory. Okay. So what people are going to use it for. So I would, when you put your pitch up on your blog site, I want you to kind of make sure you do identify your audience a bit more clearly. But I think the idea sounds good. It requires quite a bit of work, but I'm sure you'll be able to do it. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you.